Hello, welcome to this video, Standard First Aid and CPR / AED Level C, setting the stage for what is to come. Of course, from this topic, you know that this is just like prefix to what is to come. A lot is to come. A lot is in the making. I am so excited. I don't even know how to describe how excited I am. And I cannot wait for this course to start. Okay, I cannot. All right, so it is all about life, Life is the most important property, is the most important thing, because without life, there is nothing that is worth. Why? Life is everything. So this is why I'm excited that we're going to learn. We are here to enrich ourselves. At the end of the day, at the end of this course, I am very, very sure that you will learn a lot about how to save lives, about emergencies and what to expect and what you are expected to do should there be any emergency. Okay, so please, I want you to do me a favor now, and that favor is to hit the subscribe button. Do you know why you need to do that? This is a very valuable channel. This channel talks about knowledge. This channel talks about life. This channel talks about how to save lives, and videos will be uploaded on regular basis. So by the time you subscribe, you get notified. Once I upload a new video, you will get the alert, you get the notification. So please hit that subscribe button, and I thank you for doing so. All right, so let us go for today. What we have for today. So the objective, there are two objectives. So this video is going to be short. Okay, this is not the main gist. This is just, a prefix. It's an appetizer. Just want to get you up, get you excited, just like I am. Okay, objectives: to provide the outlines or the topics to be covered. A lot of topics, a lot. Many topics will be covered in this course. So just give you an outline. That's what this video is about. So we may not go into details, we may not, dive into the nucleus of the course. No, we'll just give you the breakdown, the overview, the outline. That is what the video is about. And at the end of the day, participants, you, every other person who is watching the video, will know what is expected from them. Are you expected to do something? Yes. Are there some expectation from you? The answer, of course, is yes. What are those expectations? That is what the video is about. Okay? So don't go away. Come with me. Let us go. First of all, I want to go through the menu. Okay, the menu, the ebook that you assessed, remember I made a video on how to assess the ebook, okay, and this is the book we're going to use throughout the course. In fact, about 100% of the content will be drawn from this manual. Okay, yes, we may occasionally use other resources, but greater proportion of the content is based on this manual. Okay, so I will quickly go through the content of this manual, and that will be the outline. Okay. So when you log in and have your manual open, okay, so you scroll down after the introduction, then so this is the content, okay, so this is the table of content, and this is actually where I'm going to use to provide the outline of the course. So introduction is on page 1, and then emergency scene management. So this chapter is very important. This chapter is very foundational. It is the foundation upon which we are going to build. So it is very, very important that this chapter is clearly understood. So when we meet during the class, we're going to spend some time to define and explain some of the concepts listed in this chapter. So we're going to see what first aid is. We're going to talk about communicating with the patients. Okay, we're going to talk about personal protection and safety. We're going to talk about immunizations, the importance of immunization. We're also going to talk about hazards at emergency scenes, and then emergency scene management sequences. And so we're going to look at scene survey, primary survey, and then there are some special considerations in emergency scene management we're going to look at. We are also going to look at secondary survey, and the secondary survey is in page 19. So chapter 1 is very, very important. This is a key chapter, and if you can read this chapter before our class, if you already have your manual, that would be great. Otherwise, when we meet in class, we're going to spend some time to describe all the concepts listed. Then chapter 2 will be about shock, fainting and unconsciousness. And then chapter 3 will be bleeding and wound care. Okay, so another critical chapter there. We're going to talk about dressings, bandages, slings, adequate distal circulation, wounds, external bleeding, abdominal wounds, internal bleeding, crush injuries, minor wounds and care, infection and wounds from stings and bites. So that's chapter 3. And then chapter 4 will be about asthma and allergies. Okay, and then chapter 5 will be head, spinal and pelvic injuries. Okay, so we're going to talk about spinal motion restriction, head injuries, concussions, spinal injuries, causes of injury to the spine, and pelvic injuries. And then chapter 6 will be about diabetic emergencies. So we're going to look at diabetics, type 1, type 2, and the other associated concepts. And there are 2 emergencies we're going to look at in chapter 6, and that is hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia. We're going to see what each of them means and how you can differentiate one from another. Then chapter 7 will be about seizures. Causes of seizures will be considered absent seizures. This is a type of seizure, febrile seizures, and fever emergencies. We're going to look at that as well. And then chapter 8. Chapter 8 is the biggest chapter. Chapter 8 is a key chapter, is a pillar. Okay, is about respiratory and cardiovascular emergencies. The longest chapter, the biggest chapter, and is a very, very important chapter as well. So we're going to look at some anatomical concepts, respiratory system, breathing difficulties, respiratory arrest, cardiovascular system, cardiovascular diseases. High blood pressure is one of them. Heart attack is an example. Angina is also another example. Stroke and TIA, transient ischemic attack, will be looked at. Cardiac arrest, we're going to also spend some time talking about cardiac arrest, and then that will lead us to adult cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR. Okay, we're also going to talk about AED. We're going to talk about normal breathing versus agonal gasps, and then we'll talk about calling 911, chain of survivor, high quality CPR. So high quality CPR, there are some attributes of high quality CPR. We're going to look at that as well. We're going to look at providing compressions, giving breath, use of a pocket mask, how to use an AED, okay? And then we're going to put everything together. There are a lot. Chapter 8 is a very, very, very big chapter. A lot to be said, a lot to be learned. And at the end of chapter 8, the participant will have known how to perform CPR, how to resuscitate anybody who is unconscious and not breathing. And we're also going to look at choking, okay, which is airway obstruction. Chapter 9 is about burns, types of burns, so calculating the extent of bone injuries. We're going to describe 2 methods you can use to do that: electrical burns, chemical burns, heat burns, radiation burns, inhalation burns, and then we're also going to look at safety measures. Okay, and then child and infant resuscitation. So we're going to look at CPR as it relates to children and infant. Okay, secondary survey also will be considered in chapter 11. Okay, and then chapter 12 will be about bone, joint, and muscle injuries. Okay, we are going to look at how to provide basic emergency care to any emergency relating to bone, relating to joint, relating to muscle, and there are important concepts there that we're going to look at as well. Bone injuries, joint injuries, dislocations, sprains, collarbone fractures, shoulder blade fracture, fracture of the femur, strains, and repetitive strain injury. Then poisoning is also another topic we're going to look at. Eye injuries, we're also going to look at that and how we can provide care to anybody who has such need. Chest injuries also be looked at, and so we're going to look at chest, blunt trauma, penetrating trauma, deceleration trauma, fractured ribs, flare chest. There are many things to talk about here. This course is loaded. I told you this is the course. This is it. It's about life. Who can go through this course and remain the same at the end of the day? No way, nobody. Okay, and then there are also environmental illnesses and injuries that we should be acquainted with, and also how to provide first aid for them. And then chapter 17 will be about lift and carries, and then there is also multiple casualty in chapter 18. I don't think chapter 19 will be talked about, but your manual has some information about them for those who may be interested. So this is the overview. Okay, so this is the overview. Is a great course. It is enriching. It is all about life, very important. So you are welcome. So I expect you to be excited. I expect you to, come expecting. Okay, come expecting something. We are going to spend the time together, try to learn from one another. Okay, so please come, bring your writing materials, bring your excitement with you. Be ready to, to interact, bring your questions. I expect you to come ready, to come prepared, to come expecting something, and at the end of the day, we are all going to enjoy this class. So again, thank you very much. I cannot wait to see you in the class, and trust me, I am ready. Trust me, I'm so excited. All right, so see you in the class, and please, if you can read at least chapter 1, if you have the manual and you can read at least chapter 1, that will be very, very important. Okay, now nonetheless, when we meet during the lessons, during the class, we're going to go through a lot. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye.